guys, how's it going? I know it's been a few months, but Def Gun the Magnificent has returned. Thank God for the Albaz Structure deck coming out with a miracle godsend for my deck that now I'm able to combine my most frightening deck along with this Albaz deck, the Fluffals. So, without further ado, let's get to the deck profile, shall we? Starting off with this profile, we go with 3 Spriggan's Kit. For this one, when it's normal summon or special summon, you get to add 1 branded spell or trap from deck to hand. Then you get to also send 1 card from your hand to the bottom of the deck. Its other unique ability is if you have a fusion monster that lists Fallen of Albaz as material on the field, you can special summon this card from your hand to the field, which gets that part of the engine going again. At the moment, I'm running 3 of it, but I might lower it down to 1 once I get the Albaz. I'm just waiting for a chance to get down to Frankincense for that part. Then the card we run 2 of is Fallen of Albaz. For this guy, when he's normal summon or special summon, you can discard 1 card, which can be any one of our edge imps that can start this engine going faster, toy vendor, wings, any part you can think of. But when this guy sends a card from the hand to field, he can automatically super poly a monster from the opponent's field and himself on my field to make a branded dragon. He is good right now because everyone's running the branded engine at the moment, which is a great countermeasure. Then we go into the Fluffal part of the deck, where we go into 3 Fluffal Penguin. With this guy, you can essentially special summon 1 Fluffal monster from your hand. So you get you dog, owl, bear for potential use in case you need to get poly back, but also his other effect is if he's used as a fusion material for a fight for monster, you have to draw 2 and discard 1, which you guys already clearly know. It can send wings, vendor, chain, get things going for that. Next card we run up is 3 Fluffal Bear. For this, we use it for its discard ability to ditch itself to send a toy vendor from deck to field, which can get around things like anti-spell fragrance and stuff like that. But he is also our other combo piece that gets the whole wings vendor combo going. Then we run 2 Fluffal Wings. You guys already know about this one. If he is in the grave, you can bash another Fluffal along with him. Draw a card, send the toy vendor, draw another card. Toy vendor's effect lets you get another Fluffal or Edge Imp Sabers. Then the next card we run 1 of is 1 Fluffal Dog, 1 Fluffal Owl, and 1 Fluffal Dolphin. For Dog, you get to add a Fluffal or Sabers from deck to hand. Owl, you can either make him into a polymerization or you get to add 1 polymerization from deck to hand. And for Dolphin, you essentially get to set a toy vendor from graveyard to field and then send 1 Fluffal from deck to grave. Its other ability is if it's used for a fusion summon, you get to target 1 fusion spell from your graveyard and shuffle it back into the deck. I know some people are running cat and octopus, but I think this is sort of my right ratio for the moment, but I have to still do more testing to see. But then we go into the Edge Imp part of the deck, where we start off with 3 Edge Imp Chain. For this guy, when he is on the field, but eventually we never do that every once in a while, but when he declares an attack, you can send 1 chain from deck to grave. His other ability is if he is sent to the grave as fusion material or just sent to the grave in general, you get to add 1 Fight for spell card from deck to hand, which can be the Fight for Fusion or Fight for Patchwork. Then the other 2 of is the Hand Trap Edge Imp Scythe. For this guy, during the opponent's turn, you can quick play activate his effect by fusion summoning him and another Fluffal monster to make another Fight for monster, which can be our designated Fight for Cruelwell. And for him, essentially, since this guy's already in grave after our fusion summon, you can attempt to pop the whale and non-target pop 1 of the cards on the opponent's field and also use the Scythe effect to protect the whale while still getting a pop off the opponent's field. At the moment, I've seen people running at least 1 of him, but I felt like 2 was good because you never know when you need that card to pop up. Then the last one of the Edge Imps is Edge Imp Sabers. You guys already know what he is. He is our target for Fight for Wolf, Tiger. Also, he has the ability that if he's in grave, you can send 1 card from your hand to the top of the deck and then special summon him from the grave in defense, which can help us get plays off of Penguin in case we did use the 2 draw and discard, or we just want to get rid of something we don't want in her hand to hopefully get something better for next turn. Then we move on to the spell portion of the deck. Give me 1 second. We go off into 3 Branded Fusion. You guys already know what this one does. It helps us fusion materials from the deck, field, or grave that are listed on the materials for the branded dragons, which can help us dump, let's say, 1 of the Edge Imps, Fluffal Wings, even your extra Spriggan's Kits you don't want, or even the Albaz you just want to get rid of also, if you happen to have already had an extra 1 in there. Then we run the other 3 fusion cards out of the deck as 3 Polymerization. You guys gotta remember, I love the Magic LOB polys. I just sadly wish they were first editions. But you guys already know what this does. It fuses 2 or more monsters to make an even greater monster from the fusion deck. Well, aka the extra deck. Then we go into the one Fight for Patchwork, sorry, Fight for Fusion. You guys already know what this is. It's the Miracle Fusion for the deck, where you can banish monsters from your field and graveyard to make another Fight for monster. It's also searchable thanks to Chain. And the other two ofs, which I might consider running a third once I get the other ultra rare of it, but Super Poly. You guys already know what Super Poly is. It's that force you into making a fusion summon no matter what the opponent says if they have the right materials for your fusion summons. Also, it helps you discard Chain, Wings, or any one of your other combo pieces to get things going. And then the next card we run one of is one branded in red. I thought about maybe putting in a second one, but I only have the one Chimera, so until then, I also might consider putting one branded opening once I get the Alubers and stuff too. But you guys already know what this one does. You target one Despier, one Albaz monster in your grave, add it to hand, and you can fusion summon using that, which is our quick play effect for Chimera. Then we get to the last few parts of the spells where we run 3 Fight for Patchwork. With this guy, you can actually add any one Edgent monster and one Polymerization from deck to hand. He is also searchable by Chain. Chain can also search this to get things going with another Fight for Fusion and stuff like that. The other 3 ofs that we're running for this deck is 3 Toy Vendor. For this one, you guys already know what it does. You ditch 1 card from your hand, draw 1 card, reveal it. If it is a Fluffal, you get to special summon any one monster from your hand. If not, you send the card to the grave. Which in most cases it's bad, but if you land on Wings or Chain, you're just fueling to your combo starters. And then the last 2 of that we run out of for the spells is 2 Foolish Bearer of Goods. You guys know what this does. It dumps a spell or trap, which we primarily use it to send the Toy Vendor to net us any one of our fusion materials that are needed for the next combo play. So with that, guys, the deck is at an even 40. Then we move on to the extra deck portion of the deck, where I go with 1 Guardian Chimera. I am so happy I got this for trading a Bahamut Shark back then when it was like 15 bucks. Thank you to the guy who traded me for it. But you guys already know what this does. Depending on the materials, it has to be 1 from each from hand and field, but let's just say you get rid of 2 from hand, you get to draw 2, or if you get rid of 2 on the field, you get to draw 1 and pop 2 monsters. Also, he has the neat added bonus that if there's a Polymerization in the graveyard, he cannot be targeted by card effects. That is essentially great in this deck because I'm running 3 polys, and most of my engine requires polys, so I'm guaranteed to have it unless someone's sneaky enough to banish it. Then we go off into the branded dragon engine of the deck, which is 2 Mirror Jade Dice Blade Dragon. You guys already know what this one does. Essentially, you can send 1 extra deck monster from your extra deck to the grave to essentially non-target banish a card on the field. Also, if he is destroyed or removed off the field at the end phase of the turn, his effect will kick in, which will destroy all monsters on the opponent's field. But also the sad drawback to him is he cannot use the effect the next turn after he's already used it once. But he's been one of my greatest cards in this deck so far. The next card that helps me get into that whole engine is Lubellion, which you already know what it does. Discard 1 card to fuse someone level 8 or lower by shuffling monsters back in, which sometimes you want to shuffle back in either an Albaz, let's just say anything else for your materials like a Wings and stuff you want back in, a Chain or Vendor, things that can get your combos back going. You also know about Albion, the branded dragon. For this guy, it does another fusion summon by banishing the materials, but you guys also know that if he is sent to the graveyard and at the end phase you get to add 1 branded spell or trap, or either set it from the deck to the field. So then with that, guys, I go into the 2 super poly targets of my deck along with the other half of it, but still the 1 Starving Venom and the 1 Predator Plant Dragos Stapelia. You guys already know what Starving Venom does. When he is special summoned, target 1 monster, he gains the attack, also gains the effect of the monster for the turn, and if he's destroyed by battle or card effect, destroy all special summon monsters on the opponent's field. And Stapelia, for him, basically if the opponent were to activate an effect, you can target it, give it a Predator Plant counter, and negate its effect, and also lower its level. At the moment, I considered maybe running Mud Dragon for the fun of it, because I fought a Prank Kid Adventure deck yesterday, and I couldn't get over his Griffin and stuff, and then I realized Griffin and the Fansies are wind, so I could have had a way around that if I had put Mud Dragon. But other than that, we go into the Fight for engine, starting off with Fight for Sabertooth. You guys already know what he does. 3 materials, he can't be sure about a card effect. His other ability is if he's special summoned, you can target 1 Fight for monster in your grave, special summon it. Also, all Fight for monsters gain 400 attack. The next 2 that we run out of this for the Fight Fors is Fight for Cruel Whale. Like I was telling you guys with Scythe, he's basically our DPE of the deck. We use Scythe, bring him out. Let's just say non-target pop a card on our field, non-target pop a card on their field. You get a bonus. Even if you try to pop him, you can get rid of size to protect him. His other bonus is you can target your toy vendor and another card the opponent controls and get that to go off. Since my last video attempt of this, I forgot this guy was in this, but Fright for Kraken, you guys already know what he is. 2200 attack, 3000 defense beat stick. This guy can send one monster from field to grave, but then he can't attack directly. But this guy can make 2 attacks, and also at the end of the battle phase, if he did attack, he can switch himself to defense position, which is great for those days where you want him to retreat after that battle. And then the last 2 of Fright for monsters that we run out of this deck is 1 Fright for Tiger or 1 Fright for Wolf. You guys already know what Mr. Tiger does. Depending on the number of materials, he can pop up to that many cards on the field, which are targeted, sadly. Plus all Fright for monsters gain 300 attack for each Fluffal monster and Fright for monster I control. So it gives them an added boost. And also for Mr. Wolf, depending on the number of materials you give him, he can attack up to that many times, which is usually an OTK ender if they cannot stop the wolf. But with that, guys, I'd like to thank you so much for joining me for this deck profile. I'm sorry I made mistakes in this one. Also, don't forget that R.O.G Collectibles is back now on Carnelian Street in Rancho. I think it's 6658. He's open every day of the week except Sundays from 11 to 8 p.m. depending on Yu-Gi-Oh tournament days and all that. But with that, you guys have a great day. Don't forget to throw those thumbs up. Hit that slam the subscribe button, and you guys have a great day.